Hi all, welcome again to another Systemshark audio commentary. This audio commentary is copyrighted 2006 WCReplays.com, so don't go stealing it. Today I'm going to have another special treat for you guys today. Again, this is continuing my AvgJoe series. This will probably be one of the last audio commentaries I do from the AvgJoe series, I guess you could call it, that I've been doing for the last few audio commentaries. I really like these games, and I've seen comments going both ways that you'd rather see the Gosus, and that some of you actually appreciate seeing the average kind of level of play, or even though maybe below average level of play. You guys can still learn something from these players. I'm sure most of you, even though you say you're not, you probably are learning something kind of subconsciously, maybe. Anyway, I just want to you guys can get the replay synced up, by the way. Get it synced up at the 2-minute mark at 1x speed. And keep Fog of War off. I'm going to be commenting from the Night Elf's point of view, and the Night Elf player in this game is Skill Tune-Up. He's actually the person that sent me this replay for a critique, and I asked him if I could do an audio commentary on it, and he agreed, so now I'm doing this audio commentary on it. In addition, for me doing an audio commentary on this replay, I've been conspiring with SpeierG to do an audio commentary on this same replay, except he's going to do it from the human point of view, and I'm doing it from the Night Elf point of view. So let's get it paused up. We're at the 2 minutes at 1x speed, looking at the Night Elf's point of view. It's Night Elf vs. Human on Lost Temple. Go ahead and get it unpaused in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, unpause. Alright, got the game unpaused now. We're going here. Skill Tune-Up is going for the Demon Hunter first, and they're spawning cross-map, so the human, although he doesn't know that they're spawning cross-map at the moment, he's opting for the fast expansion. The fast expansion LA I think works a lot better when it's cross-map. It's harder for the Night Elf player to actually go in and do some harassment when he's got to travel all the way across the map with his units to stop the fast expansion. While the Night Elf player is running there to scout out that opponent's location, I'm going to go over one more little note I wanted to go over before we started this. I noticed the last time I made a bunch of mistakes in my last audio commentary. Maybe not a bunch, but a few of them. And thanks to everyone who pointed a lot of that stuff out. I made a comment about the water elemental when he had a lightning shield on him. Really helped out the human player to creep an expansion on Terranus Strand, or a creep spot on Terranus Strand early on in the game. And in fact, the lightning shield actually stole the experience in the gold. He only got experience from killing one of those early priests, and that was something that a lot of players were commenting on in my last audio commentary. So, I mean, even though I'm making these mistakes, it's kind of better for you guys, because you guys are, pointing these out to me, and it helps you kind of learn more, because you're having to pay attention to what I'm saying, which I really think is kind of cool that you guys are paying that much attention to what I'm saying. Alright, so now the Night Elf player is opting to try to harass the human player. The human player is already level 2. He's setting up his expansion here. He did bring a Wisp along, if you noticed, with his Demon Hunter. And initially when I saw that, I was thinking he was going to use his Wisp to try to detonate on the Archmage and on the Water Elementals to try to, again, help with stopping this fast expansion. But instead he decides that this fast expansion is probably going to go up, and he just needs to kind of keep the pressure on a little bit to keep the human kind of intimidated and not creeping at the moment. So instead of trying to take down his expansion here right off bat early on, although he still is going to try to do it, he knows that it's going to be a risky move, and he's probably not going to be able to, so he's putting up an expansion of his own. So Tree of Life is forming on the ramp by his base, by his natural expansion. And that's really the big counter to how you're going to be able to stop a human fast expansion. Another note, that Wisp that he brought along, he is building into an Ancient Protector. And although the human player did not see this Ancient Protector building, for a second he could have seen the Wisp building. I watched the replay again, and the Wisp does show up when a footman walks by on the ramp a little while ago. But I guess he must not have been paying attention or seen it. It actually was a really quick second, so anyone could have missed it. But this is kind of a weird move for him building an Ancient Protector here. It works out for him, and it's a strange location, but the human player, unless he's bringing any more units down the ramp, isn't really going to be able to see that Ancient Protector building. Once he builds it, he's going to start eating away the trees and try to go behind behind the human's fast expansion there. And it's going to help him when he tries to push that expansion later on in the game. Another move here that you want to pay attention to on the Night Elf point of view, he's by the Fountain of Health right now. He's not going to creep it at the moment, but he opted to go Huntresses versus Human. And to me, that's kind of a strange move. I'm a big fan of seeing archers pretty much versus all the races. Although they're weaker units, they do more damage, I think, to focus fire, individual footmen and things like that, especially if you're going to have a demon hunter with that added tanking ability early on. Huntresses are kind of a weird move, but more and more Night Elf players that have been sending me replays actually go the Huntress build versus human, so there might be something that I don't realize that they maybe they do because they're Night Elf players. To me, the Huntresses have unarmored, they're unarmored units, and the human's natural progression is to go Riflemen, and the Riflemen are really tear up those Huntresses. So pretty much every Huntress you get early game is chances are he's probably going to die quickly to all that Rifleman focus fire in the mid game. So you don't want to get too many of them, and he does a good move of not getting too many of them. I think he gets maybe 5 or 6 total, just to help him creep and to put pressure on the opponent before he gets the Rifleman. Right now, the human player creeping the Fountain of Health. At this point in the game, this exact time, around the 6:30 to 7 minute mark, you definitely want to watch out for that middle creep camp. Whoever gets the whoever gets to clear this camp gets really good items in it, and it's a really good creep camp for just experience in general. He's creeping it in a weird way, but right now the Night Elf player scouted him out with an illusion of the Demon Hunter, so he knows that he's there. This is a good time to ping the Fountain of Health. So if you're paying attention to the timing involved and you want to work on this, make sure to watch around the 6 to 7 minute mark. Generally is when players are going to try to creep out that Fountain of Health before they hit tier 2. Human player doing a really good move of actually attacking the creeps that drop the items, and he quickly picks them up. And now he knows he's outnumbered, both by the creeps and by the Night Elf player, who's now coming in to try to do a little bit of harassment after scouting with that illusion. So he TP's out. Definitely a good move there, leading the Night Elf player with now no good items to actually get off this camp, but he's still able to clear it for the experience, which will give his Demon Hunter level 3, as he just dinged right now. See that Ancient Protector up by the human's natural expansion again. Like I said, he's eating the trees away. He's going to try to position him behind the trees, but the human player has done a good job of actually towering up the front part of his base. This is going to make any type of mid-game push on that expansion very difficult, especially when you're going Huntresses that take extra from those guard towers, and which are going to be a little bit of a risky move. Going the Arcane Tower versus the Demon Hunter isn't as effective as, like, if you were saying maybe a Farseer or something that's really mana dependent. The Demon Hunter is kind of a tank in this in DPS, and he doesn't necessarily need his mana. He's only using his mana to mana burn the Archmage every now and then, so it's not as effective on him. I probably would have opted for a third guard tower as the human player, but maybe that's something SpeierG can note when he does the audio commentary on this replay. Again, I'm trying to stick to more of the Night Elf point of view here. So now he's got his expansion up, and the human player actually doesn't scout his counter expansion, if you were, the whole game. Although the human's expansion's been up for a good amount of time, 10,000 gold to 12, so about 2,500 gold difference here, and how fast the humans had his expansion, due to the peasant speed bill and able to get it up quick enough. So now the human's building a lot of buildings actually at his natural expansion. Again, just to kind of spread out his forces here, he's got a Arcane Vault going up and another Scout Tower going up. Now the Ancient Protector has been scouted out, and the Night Elf player is on the other side. Realizing that this is a bad situation for him, he's not going to opt to try to push the human's base at this point, or the human's natural expansion. He opts instead to use that Ancient Protector as kind of a distraction. He's going to switch objectives here and go towards the main base of the human, thinking that's going to be a little bit less defended than the natural expansion with all those towers, and in this case he's going to be right. So while that Ancient Protector is going to go down and all that sneaky move seemingly pointless now, the human has to stick there and take out that Ancient Protector. He did actually level to level 3 because of it, though. But now the Night Elf player again going into harass the peasant line. The human player just finished his tier 2 tech, so he's going to be able to rebuild the peasants, but this is still a good opportunity for him to kill a few peasants. Let's see how many he gets down. I see a bunch in the red now. He's got 1, there's 2, he's killed 3 so far, 4. That's 5 peasants down at least now, 5 now. He's using the Keeper of the Grove to entangle a few of these while he gets out. Now the objective here is to not lose your heroes and obviously too many units. So once the human player has made his presence known that he's back, he says, okay, I've done my damage, I've killed, you know, almost 10 peasants probably. Almost all the peasants are down now for the human. It's time for him to TP out, and without taking any huntress losses or very significant hero losses, a lot of peasants down. It's definitely a good move by him, seeing that the opportunity was lost with his Ancient Protector up at the top by the expansion. He was able to now kind of help his economic disadvantage by taking out all those peasants at the human's main base, who now has to rebuild all those peasants, and it's going to hurt his gold production at that point. Again, now that I was talking about that human progression, he's got his riflemen out. So now, at this time, the Night Elf player should be trying to get his bears out, which he's trying to do right now. That's definitely the option you want to go first, especially when you're expecting your opponent to go rifleman. Produce those bears out first, and then your dryads. Your bears are going to be able to help tank the rifleman and the footman a lot better, especially with the demon hunter, the keeper of the grove support. So he goes for the bears first. Right now, the human players actually does scout that expansion. I lied. I guess early game I didn't. I remember now that there's going to be a fight here at the humans, at the Night Elf natural expansion. Humans coming in there right now as the Night Elf players creeping out the Goblin Merchant. He's going to start summoning his water elementals. Before you hit, as a human player, again, SpeierG, probably going to go over this with you, but use your water elementals. Try to get them out early, because you could technically get 3 of those water elementals up, and if you're a level 3, that means you can get 3 level 2 water elementals up, which will definitely help with your pushing, especially at this point in the game where you're probably going to have more tier 1 units, but the food counts actually match. The problem here is that Night Elf player's got control with his Keeper of the Grove, and he's actually got really good tanking ability with his Demon Hunter. And he's bought items, scrolls of healing, potions of lesser vulnerability, not to mention his Demon Hunter's got evasion on him. So a bad target for the human player to be targeting the Demon Hunter early on like that, but definitely what you want to opt for as the Night Elf player is to get them to focus on your Demon Hunter. He's going to have level 2 evasion, and it's going to be a lot harder for him to take him out. Now the human players decided, hey, I'm going to go for the Keeper of the Grove. He's a lower level here at the moment, and also doesn't have any items on him, so that was probably a good move for him to go on that. But again, you want to be focusing on individual units. Human had some bad positioning there, taking some hits from that Ancient Protector at the Night Elf's natural expansion. Now he's got his 3 water elementals up. He's going to be able to push this a decent amount, but still he's in really bad positioning with only 3 riflemen, and his water elementals soon to be expiring. He's actually just lost 1. His Archmage just died, and he's had to use his Ankh to revive there. He's losing all his riflemen. Definitely a good situation turnaround now for the Night Elf player, able to take out all the humans' riflemen. He's ignoring the water elementals, seeing that they're a threat, but they expire, and they actually they have more HPs than the rifles, so they're going to be harder to take down. So he waits. He doesn't opt to take out those water elementals right off the bat. Human player now backing off, trying to head off to the Fountain of Health to heal up his units a little bit. He does have his economic advantage still. You notice he's got a lot of gold saved up. Actually, both players have a lot of gold saved up waiting for their tech units. At this point, the human player really needs to start producing his Tier 2 buildings. He should have had those Tier 2 buildings up a while ago, as he's been Tier 2 for a good amount of time. He just now is starting to put up his Arcane Sanctum. Now, as a Night Elf player, when you're going to be you got to expect that you're going to be up against casters, especially when playing a human player. It's either going to be casters in some way anyway. You're going to have to scout out to see if it's going to be rifles and sorceresses, or if he's going to do a tech to maybe Modar teams, knights and priests, which I think actually are a really good counter to the bears and dryads. The Modar teams are going to do really good damage to unarmored units like the huntresses and the dryads, and the knights help hold your front lines for you, while the riflemen and maybe a few sorks to help slow those druids of the claw. The problem with going sorceresses is, and if he's got a good amount of dryads, is the abolished magic that are auto-cast now by the dryads are going to be able to take slow off his druids of the claw. Also, you have to get some kind of front line as a human player. Again, this is something SpeierG is probably going to go over with you, as the human player has definitely made a good amount of mistakes in this game. You can tell as a Night Elf player he's going to be opting to hit the riflemen up front, or he wants to hit the riflemen as his first target because they're the DPS unit. They're the lower HP DPS unit that's actually the threat to his army. So even if the riflemen aren't going to be up front in a fight, he's going to try to move his bears up there to do normal damage to the rifleman, do extra, and it's a lot of normal damage because they're bears. Definitely going to hurt his rifleman out here. Okay, now